What's going on, guys? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Covered 2 podcast. Now, we went over the first game of last night's action. Let's go over the late night game. I don't expect this to be a long video considering that there's not really much to tell. It was just a flat out ass kicking last night. The Minnesota Timberwolves, without Rudy Gobert, their best overall defender, and they held Denver to 80 points. 80. The two-time, could be three-time MVP next week, I think it gets announced next week, gets destroyed. And through two games, he's averaged 5.5 turnovers per game. Now, we've seen Jokic, his sheer size and girth, been enough to get a lot of bigs off their feet, back them down, hit these little turnaround jump hook bunnies. But for whatever reason, like when Rudy Gobert got ruled out due to he missed the game because of personal reasons, which he went to go see the birth of his child, which I'm not one to not to comment on that, but I was like, oh shit, Minnesota could be in trouble here because you don't have Rudy to play free safety. I don't know how Cat if you just put Cat on Jokic in theory should eat him alive. But last night it was just a Minnesota's defense is hell. Minnesota's defense is just hell. Like I don't know the last time I saw team defense like this team. They are young, they are long, they are athletic. They contest heavily on every single shot. Even when Jokic hits his, he'll have a 6 second, opportunity a couple times a game, just and the shot clock just back down, back down, back down. Even when he's backing down Cat and in game one Rudy, they're making it so freaking tough on him because they're all big and they contest everything. Did I off the top of my head I can't name you 10 good shots Denver has took through two games, and it's crazy because like Carl Anthony Towns took the bulk of the load in the first quarter, and then Anthony Edwards took what was left of it the rest of the game. And Naz Reid came in and did what Naz Reid does and gave the Timberwolves big not big minutes, but big production in the minutes that he was given. Now let's dive into. I marked down 7 players that, for good or for bad, stood out to me. Cat to start. Karl Anthony Towns, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Good. He stepped up great on offense. He controlled the glass on defense for, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I'm going to get into the offensive rebound stat later, but let's move on to Anthony Edwards. He was 1 for 4 from 3. And it still looked like he was just as confident as ever taking any shot he wanted. That's it. Like, for everything Nikola Jokic is great on offense, he is equally as bad, if not worse, on defense. There were many times where it was just conga line down the lane, and Anthony Edwards. Yes, he had a couple, turnaround post fades, but it was just conga line right down the lane and just a little floater or just layup because Jokic was just trying to swipe for the ball. It's not like he's trying to, contest the shot at the rim. And it's tough because Jokic needs to play better on both ends. Like I said in the beginning, 5.5 turnovers per game through these two games. And last night he was 5 of 13, and now if you just look, oh my God, 16 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. That's great. Yeah. Only problem was it didn't matter. It didn't affect the game Like, they were down 32 points in the second half. At home. Like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know if it's a mental block now. I don't know if they're just getting frustrated with the officials. We saw Michael Malone in the first half be mad as hell. His face was turning red. We saw Jamal Murray throw two things onto the court, one of them being a heating pad. This team is flustered and by Monday, I think Game 4 is Monday. By Game 4, it could be a sweep. Like, there's like Game 3 is Friday. Game 4 is on Sunday, not Monday. They could get them up out of here in a hurry. Them being Minnesota. This team is just, they have everything. They have length. They have shooting. They have defense. They have a star. They have a defensive anchor. They have a great number 2 in Cat, who, in his role, because he's got the skill and the talent to be a 1, but he doesn't have that that mentality, that oomph, that desire to have it. At least it's not what it's looked like to me. It looks like Anthony Edwards, since he was drafted, he's like, okay, give me a year or two, and I'll be that guy. And we're in what, year 4, and he's taken over. It's one of those where we saw how easy it looked for Denver to come back against the Lakers in in 4 of the 5 games that they played last series, and now they're getting down double digits in the first quarter and in the first half of these games against Minnesota, and they're using so much energy to try and scratch and claw and get back into it that there's just nothing left. The Nuggets are a good third quarter team, and through the 2 games, it's been like, meh. Like, they just haven't shown much fight. Like, fight back. You're the defending champs at home. Last night was a must-win, and you got Goomba stomped. Flat out, you got Goomba stomped. Now, to move to the 4 players that I highlighted for good or for bad for Denver, I thought Aaron Gordon offensively was really good. 3 for 5 from 3, 20 points. In the first quarter, he was putting it on. He was really he he had 13 of his 20 in the first quarter, including 2 threes. Like, he was the heartbeat for the Nuggets through 10 minutes. Jokic needs to flat out play better. Like, 38 minutes, who is the person that I was going to dive into next. 16 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 of 13, 4 turnovers. Like, at what point are we going to say Jokic just has to more? Like, you're 16 to 16. We need 30 and 20. And I know it's hard, but you are the best player in the NBA. Play like it. No cuts, no butts, no coconuts. Play like it. Protect the ball. Stop giving him easy leak out breakaways. It's not the memes on social media when they won the title. It's like, oh, Jokic doesn't care. He just wants to go to Serbia and play with horses. Like, he would rather be a professional like horse rider than a basketball player. And that's what it's looking like. He doesn't play defense. These 2 7-footers, now only one of them played last night, but he just looks lethargic, lazy with the ball. I don't know what it is. And then Jamal Murray, the length is obviously giving him fits. 8 points, 13 rebounds, which, fantastic for, guard. 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He was 3 of 18 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3. The Jamal Murray against the Lakers was like last year. Lakers didn't have much. They had wing defenders, but not like guard stoppers. Like their backcourt being AR and D'Lo. He cooked them last year, and I didn't think he played well last series, but he hit 2 game winners. So hell yeah, bro. Good job, but 8 points and 4 more turnovers. That's your 2 stars with 8 turnovers. 8 of the 16 that the Nuggets committed. Michael Porter Jr. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 for 7 from three, 4 for 12 overall. I knew he wasn't going to shoot, the 53% from three that he shot against, the Lakers. But like, hell, are you going to? When's your game? It better be game 3, or you're looking at a sweep. It is what it is. Like we know these players mesh and they play together and they play well, but I don't know what it is. Like Minnesota in the second quarter, 11-2 run over 3.5 minutes, and then in that same quarter, about 2 minutes after their run ended, from the 6:22 mark to the 29-1 mark of the second quarter, 18-5. That's a 29-7 run just in that quarter, and it was over early in the third. Piss poor performance. Now the two things that stuck out to me when looking at the box score, and pardon me, pardon me, Minnesota, they had 12 turnovers. Guess how many points Denver got out of those 12 turnovers? 2. They got 2 points off those 12 turnovers. Awful. Denver had 16 turnovers, 8 by their 2 stars. That led to 19 Minnesota points. And you lost by 26 at home in a must-win game. You guys could flip the switch early as hell when y'all are playing the Lakers. Why not now? Because it's harder. And you're playing an actual team. You're playing an actual team that plays real tough physical defense. And it looks like you're getting hit. It looks like they're getting hit in the face and running away. The team that looked like the team to beat all year and that could dominate long stretches of games. It looks like they're getting punked. Flat out, they are getting punked. Now to go for, well, if you're not having a good night offensively, which, they shot 34.9% from the floor, couldn't hit shit, gotta generate extra possessions. How do you do that? You force turnovers. Oh, you lost a turnover battle, but you only got 2 points out of it. Okay. How else do you generate more possessions? You get offensive rebounds. They actually won that. Minnesota only had 10 and got 14 second chance points. Denver, they had 18 offensive rebounds and they had 8 second chance points. So you're losing the turnover. You lost the turnover battle and gave up 17 more points off those turnovers. And then you win the offensive glass, and you give up 6 more points. I don't know. It flat out amazes me because I thought this series was going to be awesome, but it looks like Minnesota is just rolling. They're a well-oiled machine that's just kicking the shit out of Denver, flat out, point blank, simple. They're taking their lunch money. They don't even have to punch. They just walk into the room. And Denver lays their money on the floor and walks away. That's how it's looked. Well, that's all I have for reaction and my thoughts and opinions on Game 2 of last night between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover2Pod26. 2 is spelled TO on Twitter, unlike the 2 on YouTube. The link of that will also be in the description. Be sure to check us out there to interact with us during these playoff games and to stay up to date with the show. As always, for the Cover 2 podcast, I'm Lawson Turner. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.